Hey folks, it's Andy Barrar, Handy Andy from handyandymedia.com, and today I'm doing a review for Best Buy's blog on the Nanoleaf outdoor string lights. Now these kind of look like your traditional string lights except they're RGB, so they can do what normal lights can do and more. Are they worth it? Let's find out. So here it is when you get it with the box, and as you can see just from looking at it, each light can have different colors, and that gives you a lot of flexibility in the way that you are creating scenes and whatnot. When you open it up, here's what you get: a quick start guide that you're going to definitely want to read and keep. There's a QR code on the front that we'll talk about in a bit. And look at this, just a whole bunch of cables and lights. This is the 49-foot edition. It comes in smaller sizes as well, and that has a total of 20 lights. Here I am pairing it. As I mentioned, you have to scan the QR code on the quick start guide. Gets you into this menu. You select the room. I have a studio at my house with some Nanoleaf product. So I'm going to specify a different room, and I'm also going to just name that string lights because these lights are Matter compatible, meaning that you're going to be able to control it through voice assistants like the Amazon Echo speakers and Google Assistant speakers. I have a Google speaker outside, so I definitely wanted to make sure that was connected so I can be that cool guy barbecuing and turning lights on and off in different colors hands-free. But you can also manually do it right at the cables. As you can see, there's a controller on that line that you can adjust different scenes by pressing the scene button and then switch manually between the scenes. If you double tap it, you can actually switch different colors. So not only scenes, but different colors you can do just from a tap of the button. You see that plus minus? That's to increase or decrease the brightness of the lights. Like, look how awesome that is. Now here's where I'm going to be installing it. This is my back deck. You can see it's covered. I got one side that's covered and then one with, that's clear through. And so here's the lights. And the important thing of when I was installing this is I wanted that controller that you just saw, I wanted that to be accessible. So I kind of worked behind from where that controller is and where the power source was to determine how I was going to start the lights and then eventually run the lights from there. So I was kind of looking, I'm like, where are my power sources? Where am I going to put this that's an accessible area for that controller? Because I have an Airbnb suite. People might come and they might want to manually turn it on and off. They don't have the app. I needed to figure out where I was going to do that. And I found one of these posts right there that you're kind of looking. That kind of seemed like the best place to start it off. So there, I've got the controller and I'm like, I want it around that height. And I'm just kind of figuring out how I'm going to run this line. Here's how I eventually did it. We'll get right to it. You can see how I kind of run straight down over there. And if you come on to this side, you'll see that there's the light. It has color, but it's not really that bright because there's so much daylight right now. But here's what I did. I started right there. I screwed that end right onto that post, and then coming down, here is the controller. And I use those little cable ties to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So I didn't have to use like double-sided tape or anything like that. Like that thing ain't going nowhere. And so it's pretty accessible for other guests to basically come. They can probably see it. Maybe I'll put a sign there. And then I ran the power underneath here straight into that power bar that I had previously mounted in that covered area. So I'm pretty much good to go with that. And then from there, I'm just running the cable. And you get a lot of flexibility on how you want to do this. When it came to mounting, I just used screws right into the top there. I had these little small screws, and then I kind of skipped every one or so to kind of let it sag, give it a certain type of ambiance rather than have all of them screwed right up to the top. But you know what? I might change this design in the future, but I kind of went around so that center table is going to be illuminated. And I just really wanted to see at this point, how much brightness could this light provide for this back deck, as long as I had that whole area covered. So basically after that, it was just wait till nighttime to really test it out. And so it got dark. I got the app out and I was just kind of toggling through the scenes. One thing I did notice is that when you're toggling, there's a delay because everything connects through Wi-Fi. You don't have that instantaneous delay or that feeling of pressing something and then having the light change. It takes a couple of seconds to change. But other than that, it's pretty easy. I wish on the app, like when you press something, it actually shows that you pressed it. You kind of have to wait for the delay and then see if those colors do in fact come up. But like great scenes. Like, can you imagine having like a late night barbecue with your friends, chilling? out on a summer's day, late at night. I think it would just be a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of these lights. I think it's a great investment, especially if you have a covered space that you want to use at nighttime. Like, look at this kind of like far back, just how much kind of like cool lighting. And purple's my favorite color for this. I highly recommend it. It's pretty cool to see. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Nanoleaf outdoor string light. If you did, please like, subscribe. And of course, you can find more information about me on my website, handyandymedia.com. I'm Andy Barrar, Handy Andy, signing out for the Best Buys blog. We'll see you again next time.